What it do, baby? Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Did You See That? Where we will be reviewing our favorite TV shows and bringing them out into the world of social media so that we can all have chats together. As some of you know, my name is Bonolo, and so this week, as you have been seeing for the past previous weeks, we are reviewing Adulting, which is currently on Showmax, and it's on season 3. And yeah, that's where you can find it. So, in this week's episode, we'll start with Bonga and Unkanyezi. As we've been seeing, they've been having a lot of difficult conversations about wanting to have children and stuff. In this past episode, we see Nkanyezi essentially come back to the household, wanting to rebuild their marriage, but Ugel is taking birth control behind this man's back. I say, first of all, I think Bonga's being unreasonable, and we can have a conversation about it. But I feel like he's being unreasonable. She's not saying she doesn't want a kid. She's just saying she doesn't want a kid right now. So I need him to get it together. But also, like with her taking birth control behind his back, I get it. As a woman, I get it. Like, it's your body, you decide, and all of these things. But I do think that her coming back to the household and wanting to like fix the marriage, but then she's already fixing it at a back foot because she is like keeping secrets about this thing, is gonna be, it's gonna cause a lot of unnecessary harmful situations. And so I actually think that like she shouldn't be taking it behind his back. She should just be like, this is what's happening. I want you, you're my man, and we're gonna figure it out. But right now I'm taking birth control because you knew wanting to marry me that I was a career woman, and now all of a sudden that you've married me, I'm not understanding like why you are wanting me to now abide by all these weird rules and these weird demands that you have. So yeah, that's what we're at with Ubonga and Nkanyezi. And then Tsikitsiki was unhinged this episode. I mean, look, absolutely pissed off about his gran and him getting in, I mean, the people coming into his grand's house and everything. But the thing that I was like, Tiki, I don't know, hey, is how he was speaking to his girlfriend. So you've probably seen the episode by now, but essentially what happens is people get bakenela mewahai, I don't know what that is in English, break into his grand's house, and he obviously loses his mind because this is happening while he's at his girlfriend's place. And so the girlfriend is very much like, no, we should let justice take its course, but we know Tsikitsiki is a gangster. Tsikitsiki and justice not in the same WhatsApp group, right? So he decides to take justice into his own hands, and he goes to find these people that broke into his grand's house, and he essentially like beats them up. He gets arrested, etc. Now, the thing that I found particularly wild is how he was speaking to his girlfriend in terms of like, she's the girl who's just like, bro, like, let the cops handle it. It's unfortunate this has happened, but like, don't be out here going to beat up random people unnecessarily. You already have run-ins with the law. Like, there's no need for you to now have another run-in with the law when you know that like this is a life that you no longer want to live. And I think similar to what Knox was saying last week, similar to what I was saying a couple of weeks ago, Tsikitsiki is in conflict with who he was and who he wants to become. And I think that is a theme that we're going to see reoccurring in these episodes going forward. It's going to be interesting to see who he decides to be going forward. And yeah, I just thought that like the way in which he spoke to her was unhinged. And I think Uheli Berry needs to exit stage left because quite frankly, like, I think that's something that happens sometimes when you're in relationships with people and you like really want to see the best in them, you see their potential and stuff. But the reality is that that's not where Tsikitsiki is. And I think that that's not, it is who he wants to become, but I don't think it's who he's ready to become. And so I think sometimes it's okay to just step back and like let people grow and figure out themselves. And then if we're meant to come back together, we'll come back together. So that was Tsikitsiki this week. Keen to see how it's going to play out. But I really do think that Haley Berry should exit stage left and let this man figure out like who he wants to be and what he wants to become. And then there's Vuyani. Not Vuyani babsing somebody else at his club that his sugar mama owns, and then he gets caught. I'm just like, brother, at least don't get caught, my nigga. Like, what are you doing? So surprisingly, Beth didn't she didn't go batshit crazy when she found out, and even the conversation that they have afterwards was like a fairly human, decent conversation. But I do think that he is on thin ice. And I think it's just going to be strange to see how he navigates like this woman having so much financial power over him. Not only financial power, but like his dreams are literally in her hands. And so if he continues acting the way that he acts, I I don't foresee Vuyani having this club for a while, especially if he's going to be somebody that thinks with his other homie in his pants. Like, I just think it's not going to work out. So yeah, we'll see what happens on that front. Finally, we have Mpho. First of all, I thought it was bizarre how Mpho goes to the soccer game of his kids and Zitulela's asking him, "What are you doing here?" Madam, yes, I cheated, but like these are still my kids. I'm still gonna come to their soccer game. Like on the one hand, I completely understand Zitulele and where she's coming from. She's hurt and all of these things. But I personally think that she's being unreasonable in a lot of the things and a lot of her demands. And I understand that like the reason that they are in the situation is because of Mpho's actions. But some things like her acting out when he comes to the soccer game, her not wanting to sign the forms of the kids, her getting a co-worker, male co-worker, to pay for her kids' fees because she's not trying to have them go to a public school because she's not trying to cough up half of her salary, so she'd rather just let another man like pay for her fees, for the kids' fees. I was like, I don't know, Sim. I don't know. I don't know. But that's what happened in this week's episode of Adulting. We will see what happens in the next coming episodes. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, stick with us as we continue to review additional episodes of Adulting. See you next week.